Hey guys, welcome back. We're here to show you today how to make your ball python happy in a glass aquarium. Here at 319, we believe in using whatever works. I think there's successful ways to keep your ball python in a tub format like this, or in an aquarium you see like this, a glass enclosure. And it can be very different. Ultimately, you need to provide the animal the very basic things it needs, you know, heat, humidity, food, water. It will also just need to feel secure, or you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems with it eating, with it being stressed, with it could be where it strikes out. We wanna help you avoid that. The number one question I get asked from new keepers who are bringing home their first ball python is about why it won't eat. Typically I start with, show me a picture of the enclosure you're keeping them in. We have a Med 25-gallon terrarium here. It's front opening. I prefer the front opening. These guys are prey in the wild in Africa. They're the smallest python in Africa. They prefer security. Part of feeling secure is knowing that you're not being grabbed from above like a bird would or a predator. So the front opening works well because they see you coming and grab them out of there. They feel more comfortable. First things you're gonna need are a thermostat and a heat source. For these glass aquariums, I prefer a heat mat. They stick right to the bottom of the terrarium. It provides that underbelly heat. You have to have a thermostat.
The thermostat is a sacred covenant.
I know I've stressed this in other videos before.
I can't believe we're even talking about this.
BN Link is the brand, not sponsored by them at all. You can get them for $10 on Amazon. I think you pay 25 or 30 and you could get a heat pad and a thermostat with them.
This is madness!
And I've used them before. They work just fine. In this one, you can see we have that heat pad right here. You want that to cover 1/3 of your cage. We have silicone this probe down. Now we use this tank for somebody else or another animal prior. It's been sanitized. I use this suction cup here to kind of keep the wire down. Now if you have an animal like a hognose or a corn snake that burrows, they can dig that silicone up and release that probe. And in that case, you may have that heat pad overheat. For those types of animals, I recommend you put the probe under the tank above the heat pad, and then you'll just have to measure temperature on the glass here to see when it gets to your desired temperature. For these ball pythons, we're going to want 89, 90 degrees. So we will set our thermostat, and we're already set at 89. So we'll just leave it right there. Hey guys, quick break. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's get back at it. The next step's going to be, since we already have our heat pad on, we're going to fill it with substrate. So what I have here is a breeder block of cocoa husk chips. Famous brands are like Reptiles or Cocoa Blocks from Freedom Breeder. We'll fill the bottom with this. So we've got that breeder block of cocoa here, so we're just going to break this up. Then later on we'll come back and wet it. I want to make sure we have enough, and you want to get a decent layer because sometimes the animal likes to burrow a little or sink down into it for security reasons, so the animal feels secure in this enclosure. You see we got the back covered already. That helps, and when they are exposed with the glass on the back, it makes them feel more stressed out. We're going to add some decor. This acts as a hide because they can get under here. This also acts as a rough surface to when they're shedding, they can kind of start that shedding process off of that. I have these here, and it gives it that naturalistic look, but it's a suction cup vine. Sticks right to the side glass here. Now that's going to give me that side cover. There we go. So we'll just hang those on each other. So now we've got some cover on both sides for the animal, so it feels safe traveling from hide to hide. This decor is a place to hide and climb on. We've got sticks to add as climbing. So these are all different hides made for reptiles. You could buy them on Amazon. You could buy them at your local reptile expo. Sometimes they sell them at the local reptile shop. You want to use the one that's the closest size to your snake. So if you're using a baby, this is a mini. You're going to use that one. Or a yearling, something like that. And as they grow, and there's bigger ones too, even bigger than this. We're going to put one on the hot side so it has the ability to hide and self-regulate. And we're going to put one on the cool side because it wants to stay hidden. I mean, these animals will choose to hide and be hidden over having the temperatures they need. You want to make sure that you give them that option. So here you can see we've got multiple hides throughout. We've got one on the hot. We've got a couple places in the middle for it to climb on and hide. We've got this. One thing that a lot of people miss is they need to be able to move from those hides and feel secure. I do that using these vines. So we'll kind of Just string this across the entire enclosure like that. Now that animal's gonna feel like it can move about the enclosure and still do it with that covertness that it takes to get from one hide to the other without being prey. So now what I'm gonna do is put these lids in. Now you can see these come with a screened in lid, and that's so you can put a heat lamp and you have that aeration. What I did with this one to help with humidity was I took the screen out and I glued in around here a piece of plexiglass or Lexan to keep that humidity and heat in. It wouldn't be a bad idea to even put something over part of this. You only want a little bit of ventilation for, especially for a subtropical animal, and you want to keep humidity. Now these will just pop right in, and that one goes on this side. And now we're ready. You may even have issues if your animal isn't eating, it's not coming out. And in the evenings, these animals do come out at sundown, sun up. They're nocturnal or crepuscular, they call it. You don't see them out and about. You might want to try moving things around. You may want to try even covering the lid. I've put a towel over it in the past with some tin foil underneath. The towel's going to suck humidity out, so you want to put something in between the towel and this. You can even cover the whole thing with a drape of some sort of tablecloth, a blanket at night, or even during the day to make that animal feel secure. It won't be that way at all times. You'll just be temporary until you allow the animal to become comfortable in its environment. And at that point, we would add our moisture. So with the cocoa husk, I like to just pour it in with a watering can. It's going to soak up that humidity. It's going to hold it in. The spray bottle like this, it's going to mist on the surface and it will evaporate much more quick. For temperature, I recommend getting a heat gun so you can check temperatures at different points in your enclosure. If you put one up here on the glass that sticks to the glass, it's only going to give you the temperature up here. You want to know what the temperature is down where that animal is residing. At this point, all right, and the last thing we're going to add, and probably the most important, the water dish. Now you want something big enough that they can essentially soak themselves in. Sometimes they like to do that when they're going into shed. So we're going to set that here up front so it's easy to get and change. You want to change it every 2 to 3 days. You can do it more frequently if you'd like. Your animal will tell you. If you see your animal go drink immediately after you put water in there, then you know you're probably waiting too long. It means they were waiting on clean water. We would introduce our animal. Here's the finished product. If you have any other suggestions on anything we might have missed, please leave it in the comments down below. It might help people out. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, on MorphMarket. We posted photos of surprise house snake eggs we got on Instagram this week. You guys liked this video, found it helpful, maybe check out these videos here. And we will see you on the next one.